equals MC.
Come on.
E equals MC.
What?
E equals MC.
Come on.
E equals MC.
What?
E equals MC.
Come on.
E equals MC.
What?
E equals MC.
Come on.
E equals MC. Hard. I explode like a bomb. No one is spared.
Today, I'm going to do an intellectual video about why all math is wrong. Now, this video is sort of intended for the mathematical sort of intellectuals. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about mathematical theorem, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to sort of describe to you both the problem, some examples, and the solution to basically my theory that all mathematics is in fact wrong. We basically have our basic equation, right? Which I put right here. So we have 1 plus 1 equals 4. So all math is essentially derived sort of off of things equaling each other. And the problem is exactly just this. It's that the equal symbol. You see, the equal symbol basically means that if you put 1 and 1 together, you're going to get 4. Right? And if you know, and henceforth. But the problem is that the equal symbol is in fact flawed. The thing is that when you're adding 1 and 1, you know, and equaling it to 2, right, you're basically saying that each of the things in itself are in fact the same. But the problem is that there is no actual two things that are the same. And I'm going to show you what I mean. We're going to start off right here. This here is 2 blades of grass. I picked them out of the art. And so as you can see here, if you were going to add this in math, it'd be 1 plus 1 equals 2. But it doesn't take much sort of reason to take a look and to see that this one is very different than this one. Right? So, like, you know, you got a large difference within the same thing. So here, we don't in fact have 2 blades of grass. This here is 2 blades of grass. Let's say, for example, these 2 cups of coffee. So these 2 cups of coffee are exactly, you know, like they're the same, but they're really not the same. And the reason that they're not the same, even though they might have similar features, is because they're actually in 2 different places on the same, on this floorboard. And, to top it off, they're being struck by the light, right, at different angles, right? So the heat and the temperature are affecting both of these cups at a very different rate, affecting their molecules. So even though they appear similar, they're in fact very, very different. This here is different pieces of wood mulch, right, that I pulled out. Now, you could say, oh, it's 2 pieces of wood mulch. But it's in fact not 2 pieces of wood mulch. As you look closely, you can see that they have completely different shapes and completely different sizes and completely different weights. Again, they're being impacted by the source of light, heat, and the time-space dimensions that are affecting both of these, right? Examples go on. Here we have rocks that are white, but all you have to do is take a look and you can see that they're actually quite different. So these 2 rocks are different. This one is different than this one. Similar to these 2 being different. Even though they have a similar color, they're not in fact the same, right? This looks like 2 pens that are completely uniform, but in fact they're not uniform. Similar to the cups, they are both being affected by the heat and light differently, and they're on different spaces on the counter. So they're not in fact the same, but in fact they're actually 2 completely different things. So, taking that into account, moving back to our math equation, what you can see here is that this equal symbol is completely wrong.
Listen up, bitch, cause there may be a test. My style is smooth, but it's hard to digest. My science is tight, rhymes faster than light. Like a ton of TNT, I'm about to ignite. E equals MC.
Come on.
E equals MC.
What?
And truthfully, I've always said and thought that my greatest asset is my mind and mouth, and those who indulge in me are truly in for a treat. This video is both correct and deep. I think of you at night. When I close my eyes, you are there. With me, beside me, loving me. Your tender touch and soft lips, you are there. Closing my eyes simply brings you to the light every night. Shall we make it real finally?
That's just simply in a live object. Imagine in a live object. How do you compare one person to another? You can't just say that there's 2 people. Have you ever seen a basketball team? Is the 2 players of equal caliber? No, there's usually some that are a lot better than the others, and some have skills in one level and they have skills in the other. So you can't say that there's just 5 basketball players if you have a very diverse group of players on the team in basketball. Or just in regular life. It's very, very difficult to group people, to group numbers. Much more difficult, in fact, because of our talents and our abilities and our thought processes. Not to mention where we are on Earth at any particular time, that, you know, it's impossible for us to lump a living species, you know, similar like it is with inanimate objects. And that's not even taking into the account of time. You see, as time goes by, things change, right? They both, age, and as the Earth spins, things change, age, and time goes by. So one thing in one period of time is not the same thing as one in another period of time. I'm shooting this video, for example, at one period of time, and by the time you're actually watching it, it's going to be at another period of time. So even within the video frame, it's not actually equal. Who knows what will change by the time you watch this video? Now, how can we fix this equal symbol? Okay, so every great thought process has to have a solution. And this is the solution that I have for the equal symbol. Essentially, we got to change it, right? So instead of it being straight across from one thing equaling the other, we have to take into account different factors, right? And so this is sort of the idea of the symbol that I've come up with to sort of indicate that. Now, I'm not much of an artist, but you're going to get the idea here. So what you have to do is you have to take into account for several different factors that are going on, both in time, space, heat, temperature, dimension, right? And so as you can see here, I'm sort of making this is sort of the symbol here that I got, where you take into account all these different factors. And beyond this, what you have to do is you have to take into a third dimension. Right? So here you can see that I've got all these different directions that the equal symbol could actually be equal to. And so this is just basically straight ahead. But you also have to take into account sort of the third dimension. So it's going like this, right, back and forth. And so you have to sort of visualize that things are basically always not just equal, on a platonic or on a straightforward level, but you have to think about it sort of on a time and third dimension, right? So basically, I circle this. This is sort of the symbol. So it's a back and forth sphere, right, which sort of would symbolize the essentially uniqueness of everything. So this would all have to touch and it would have to be expanded. But this is the general concept here of my symbol.
E equals MC.
Come on, come on.
E equals MC.
What?
E equals MC.
Come on, come on.
Again, no two things are equal. No two people are equal. No two animals are equal. No, nothing is equal. There is no one thing that is equal to another due to the variety of factors in the universe. We're consistently changing. So all of mathematics, as we have it written, is in fact wrong.
E equals MC. Parking. Breakdown. Ah, yeah, that's right.
Hee-woo!